Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on The Flash Season 9. So it was about, I think it was about 2 or 3 weeks ago, something like that, when we got the first reveal and I guess confirmation that Red Death would be making their long-awaited arrival and premiere and debut onto the Flash TV show after the tease all the way back in Season 5 from within like the Flash Museum in the future or Future Flash Museum, whichever way you want to put it. Now, crisis has happened since that point, so we don't, or I guess we shouldn't expect things that were said at that point to be, I guess, like overly accurate come the appearance in Season 9. But, I don't know, it could be, and what was said in regards to, this large kill count by Red Death could still play out in some way, whether it happens off screen, whether it happens partially on screen, who knows, that's for us to wait and find out. They might do it, they might not. Now, when we got those first look photos, one question that a good amount of people had is if this means that the multiverse is back with Red Death coming in, because it was also revealed at the same time that Red Death on the Flash show will be an alternate or evil version of Ryan Wilder, who on Earth Prime is Batwoman. And I guess we can also assume was Batwoman on her Earth before becoming Red Death, and it just didn't seem like the logical way to go about things if you turn the Earth Prime Batwoman evil. It just didn't seem like that was the best way to go about things. But thanks to some new set photos, it looks like we can confirm that Red Death is multiversal, as well as confirm another character showing up, which many assumed would be a part of this portion of the season, but once again hadn't been seen on set and confirmed prior to it. But of course, throughout the video, be sure to let me know your various thoughts on this and any theories and predictions you have moving forward, because I'm sure certain people's minds are racing and you could be, going, oh, this could happen, oh, that could happen, or something like that. And of course, if you're going to enjoy the video, want to show support, you're looking forward to this stuff in the final season of The Flash, why not drop a like on the video to show support? So yeah, let's just go over these. So there was more photos, but I'm only going over 3. So these are from Canada Graphs. These are from his Patreon. I don't know if by the time this video comes out, they'll be public or not, but I will leave the link to the Patreon because that's where I got them from. If you want to go see more, I think there's like 6 or 7 in total, but I'm only using 3 because they're the only 3 I want to use. Now, the first one isn't anything new. Actually, the second one isn't technically, but they give us a better look at the suit. So the first photo you can see here is the Flash looking over to his right, and I'm like, hey, Barry, look to your left. That's where Red Death is. But this suit reveal, this suit look here, is much better than the ones we had in the first batch of photos. The first batch of photos made the suit look really bulky and stuff like that. And I'm assuming this is the same suit. I don't think they would have done any detailing changes, but then again, they might have. But you can see the color much better here, and it just looks like a bit more of a streamlined suit, at least on this angle. It looked very bulky and thick before. I don't know if this is meant to be the stunt suit, and it doesn't have Javicia Leslie in it. I'm not too sure, because in the previous photos, the actual actress was in the suit, when normally you'd probably get the stunt person in there. But yeah, she was in there for some reason doing the stunt stuff. So, during the stuff that normally I guess the actor wouldn't do. But yeah, you can see the suit a bit better. You can see like the wings on the boots and everything like that. I do like this look a bit better. However, it's the next one where it's that you get an even better look, and it's this one here where you can really see the color of the suit, see a lot of the detail, like all the ridges and everything like that. And obviously, I think one of the complaints will be it just does look very like 3D printed, like the mask and stuff like that. Like before, it doesn't look like it's an actual cowl or anything. It looks like it's a suit of armor, and that's the thing. It might be. That has been a discussion when it comes to Red Death and stuff like that based off the suit, if the actual suit is like some form of like proper armor or it protects the person within it. So maybe Red Death, like I guess the Ryan Wilder of whatever Earth it is that uses it, maybe they have speed but they don't have the natural abilities which protect their body from using the speed force and everything like that. So that's what the suit does, and that's why it is like very armor like and everything like that. But I do like it. It's extremely comic accurate to the actual suit in the comics when you look at it. And as I said, the color looks much better. As I said, in those first batch of photos we got, if it didn't have like the big wings on the side and of course the logo on the front, you'd think it's Zoom because that's what it sort of looked like, because it was so dark. But here you can actually see that darker shade of red or like that maroon color pop out, and I really like it. Obviously I would prefer if it wasn't so armor like, but maybe there's a reason it is so like like that, like very rigid, if that makes sense. But here's the next thing that sort of confirms stuff. So you can see we have Batwoman. Now this is the stunt double. That's not actually Javicia Leslie who plays Ryan Wilder or Batwoman. That's not her. That's the stunt double, which makes you assume that I guess Javicia Leslie is inside the Red Death suit. Or maybe she's not doing either. Maybe it's a stunt person in each, because it actually is a stunt scene, like a fight scene, which I guess would make sense. But you can see the actual back of the Red Death suit here, which I think is the first time we can actually see the back, and it has a lot of detailing going on there as well. Is that meant to be like a little bit of like a mini cape thing behind Red Death? I'm not too sure. But yeah, this does confirm that Batwoman is there, which I guess officially confirms that Red Death is multiversal. It was a decent, just, I guess, logical assumption to have, because it would have been weird if they made the Red Death of Earth Prime, or not the Red Death of Earth Prime, the Batwoman of Earth Prime evil into Red Death. But it's interesting to see they're gonna have a confrontation. I don't think it would be weird if Batwoman just like randomly took on Red Death, an evil speedster that the Flash is struggling with, but they might go around that. I'm not too sure. I don't think I'd be the biggest fan of that. That's the way they want to do things. But the thing is that we all know that Batwoman was cancelled, so I think a lot of people did assume, and it does seem correctly, they'd bring in Batwoman and maybe do like a soft closure to that character, or at least address what's happened in Gotham since we last saw Batwoman at the end of season 3, and that whole city and that storyline and stuff like that. Because they did set up a storyline for season 4, so maybe they address that and what happened in Gotham. I'm not too sure, and I don't know how much Batwoman's going to be in this, because this is the first set photo, so she might be in like the final episode of the Red Death arc, just sort of wrap things up. Or maybe Red Death attacks Batwoman and hides her. I don't know. We don't know what happens off screen or off from the set photos that we've had, but at least this confirms a couple of different things, which I'm sure people will be happy about, and especially the people that are fans of Batwoman and the Rowan Wilder version of Batwoman, you'd be happy to know that she's going to be showing up and maybe put some closure to her storyline. But of course, as we have said, with Red Death here, it does appear that this does confirm Multiverse returning to, I guess, the Flash as a show, but the Arrowverse as a whole. And it makes you really wonder what else it could lead to. We've talked about how throughout this season they could have some fun with the multiverse. They want to bring back characters that maybe have died or turned good, and they want to do villainous turns on them. Like, I'm not saying that this character will show up, but Captain Cold, for example. Captain Cold turned into a bit of an anti-hero, but then also died, so they could bring back an evil version of Captain Cold from the multiverse if they wanted to. Not saying that's happening, but that's just a little example there. And they could do that with a couple of different characters they want to. Of course, there's only 13 episodes for this season, so we shouldn't expect too much. I think this was filming for episode like 5 or 6 or something. I want to say 5, but it might have been 6. I'm not too sure how their filming schedule's going, but I'll say 5 or 6. And I think this is going to be the last episode of the Red Death arc, just because Batwoman's there. I think that you'd bring that Batwoman character in when you're going to end that Red Death arc. But we'll wait and see. We'll wait and find out. I guess if they start filming, if they do some set photos in like a week and they got another character there, then we can, I guess, put things together and say, okay, well, that's it for Red Death. Now, one other thing is that they were doing this they were setting up and rehearsing this big stunt with someone either being flung diagonally up into the air at a pretty much 45-degree angle, but also it could have been someone coming down to land at that angle as well. It was really hard to tell. The thing it really reminded me of is an arrow, and the archers would shoot an arrow to the ground, they'd zip line down. It sort of looked like that, but it didn't look like that at the same time. It just what reminded me when I first saw it, the angle they were on. So don't think that an archer's showing up, but that's what it reminded me of when I first saw it. They thought it was a Superman and Lois stunt, but then it was confirmed as a Flash stunt. So not too sure what they're doing there. Maybe it's Batwoman flying down, on a zip line or with the wings out and stuff like that. Now that I think about it, the Batwoman stuff makes sense considering these set photos, but it was at a different angle. So I don't know, we'll have to wait and see. But if I had to put money on it, I'd probably say Batwoman, just because of the wing stuff she can do, or maybe she has a zip line thing as well. I'm not too sure. Now, at the time of me making this video, they are doing another public filming set for The Flash. So depending on what that entails, you could see another video on that. Or if it's anything bigger, it might come out before this, or it could just be more of this and it's not really worth talking about. So just keep your eyes out for that, I guess. If it's going to happen, wait and see. I'm not too sure. But yeah, there haven't been any other public announcements in regards, news coming out in regards to the Flash, people coming back and stuff like that. They seem to be doing that, trying to keep it as hidden as they can. And then if set photos reveal something, then they just give the official confirmation. So that happened with Captain Boomerang, and now that's happened with the Red Death Batwoman stuff as well. So I wouldn't expect anything to come out before we actually see it on set, but rather the other way around. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like on it to show support. Let me know in the comment section down below your various thoughts and theories and predictions on this. Do you think this is the end of the Red Death arc with this episode they're filming because Batwoman's showing up? Or do you think it spurs on to something else? I'd be surprised if Red Death isn't too much of this season, just because it's not really what they set up at the end of last season, unless that was what they set up. I don't think it was. So I don't expect Red Death to go too deep, but give it a decent like 3 or 4 episode arc as well. But yeah, that's for us to wait and find out and see what they do. But yeah, let me know your thoughts down there in the comments. And of course, if you are, you're new to the channel, want to show your support, want to subscribe, why not subscribe? And I will catch you guys on the next video. Goodbye.